Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I will play here a video with George Galloway, and George Galloway will be interviewed upon his election. George Galloway succeeded in being again elected in the House of Commons in Great Britain, in England, and he now is part of the Parliament. So he was interviewed by a weasel from Sky News. Why do I make this video? I make it for a Romanian audience mostly, and for people who still believe in the English fair play or the English objectivity. That, I don't even know how to call him, the interviewer, he is nasty and he is on a mission to destroy Galloway more than they even tried. He's not going to congratulate George Galloway for his win. He's going to try to, attack him here and left and right. George Galloway, which I like very much, even though he's a communist, I like him very much because he's smart, knowledgeable, and with big balls. I remember first time when I saw George Galloway, and I was impressed by George Galloway, was in front of the U.S. Senate Commission, I think it was, a long time ago, when he was still a member of at that time, of the Parliament. And then he was kicked out, and then he came back accused of anti-this and anti-that and da-da-da-da-da. So without more blah 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 here, I'm going to show you this video. Is Sky News. I want you to pay attention at this interviewer, and I want you to see who he's going to try to get to his nasty low-level points. And George Galloway is old, versed, 5 steps ahead of him, and he's keep on saying, I was elected. Sunak was not elected. Now, the title of this video from Sky News is George Galloway, and I'm quoting, I despise the Prime Minister. That's not what's important in this video. That's not that he said, oh, I despise but that's how Sky News portrays this interaction between the two, right there. So this is the weasel, this is George Galloway. So let's start it.
At George Galloway's campaign headquarters. George Galloway, did you just watch the Prime Minister's speech?
I didn't watch it, but I understood the first part of it related to the Rochdale by-election.
The Prime Minister has just said that the election of you to Parliament is beyond horrifying. What do you say to that?
Well, I can understand how disappointed he is about the by-election. The Conservative Party, which is the government of the country, was crushed, not just by me, but by an independent candidate that no one had ever heard of before outside of Rochdale. So it was a disastrous night for the Conservatives and a disastrous night for Labour. I got more votes than Labour and the Conservatives and the Liberal Democrats and the Reform Party put together.
Put together? He's not mentioning that. He's not going to congratulate him. I remember another video with George Galloway. He was invited when he won before, a few years ago, maybe 12 years ago. He was again in Parliament, and the woman over there did not want to congratulate him. He just wanted to talk about his Muslim support in his win. That's what all she cared about, this and that, and how come. And he said, you can't even. And when she congratulated him, he said, okay, bye-bye, thank you very much. He took his microphone and left. That was epic. Go and watch it.
Which adds up to a pretty crushing rejection of the two-party system. So I understand why he's alarmed.
I want you to address some of the specifics that the Prime Minister said about you this.
He's going into the Prime Minister again.
He said that you backed Hezbollah. Is that true?
I don't know what that means, backed Hezbollah. I oppose Israel's occupation of Lebanon.
Hi.
Holy moly, I didn't know I have you too. Jeez, oh Pete. How come? Where did you come from? Okay, let me just mute it and come back. Here I am. I hope it worked.
I respect the right of people in occupied territory to resist their occupier. And I've done so since Hezbollah was formed and Israel occupied much of Lebanon, right up to the Litani River, regularly bombing Beirut and so on. So I'm not sure what business that is of his, because you see,
Hezbollah are a terrorist organization.
Actually, they're part of the government of Lebanon, a country with which we have sovereign diplomatic relations.
So he points out it's part of the government of Lebanon that we recognize. So what are you about designated as? Weasel smack right there. All right, let's go back.
I had this debate with Sky's Anna Botting in 2006. It's quite an epic clip. You should watch it. More than 100 million people have.
Look at the guy.
They said all these things about me in the by-election. And in the by-election, it was them that got crushed in the democratic process. So I'm not sure why he would reheat it now.
The Prime Minister is saying
talk
that
as if this is God. We're talking about little Rishi Sunak in the fag end of his prime ministership. Don't talk to me as if he's come down from the mount.
Just look at the guys, how he blinks repeatedly when he said, don't talk to me about this. When you're going to just go back and see how he blinks, he's intimidated. He feels ashamed, but he keeps going.
Tablets of stone. The things that he says are somehow meant to awe me. They may awe you, they don't awe me.
A lot of people have just watched what the Prime Minister said. This is your opportunity to respond to what he said.
Well,
he says that there are forces here at home trying to tear us apart. He is implying you are a divisive figure. You have run an election campaign that has tried to appeal, particularly, not entirely, to one section of the community.
Who won the election? Me or Rishi Sunak? I've got the democratic mandate here, not Rishi Sunak. He didn't even come second.
What the hell are you talking about? You give legitimacy to a weasel? Exactly.
He was lucky to come third. So don't put to me statements made by Rishi Sunak as if I'm supposed to be impressed by them. He don't impress me much.
We at Sky have spent some time today on the streets of Rochdale, and there are people who say that they...
There are people. Look, he's going to attack him. They always say this, always. There are people, some critics, many people. How many? What are you talking about? Some people criticize you, and he's very smart.
Intimidated by people like you and the people that have supported you.
I have just
and they have pointed out that you have concentrated your campaign on foreign affairs, and they worry that Rochdale will not be the winner.
That's my answer to you. I was just elected with a thumping majority by the electorate in Rochdale. That's all that matters to me.
So why are there people in the streets of Rochdale today worried?
Well,
people in the street. Some always will be.
People voted yesterday, and they voted for me. Why is that difficult for you to grasp?
Why are there people on the streets worried?
There may be people who didn't vote for me who are worried, but the majority, the thumping majority, voted for me. I've got the mandate, and I'm going to the House of Commons with it.
And it's a mandate, you think, to do what? Because there are people that listen to what you say about whether or not Israel has a right to exist, what you say about what many Jewish people think are threatening slogans.
We had this conversation last night. Why are you reheating it?
Because in the light of the Prime Minister's statement...
Don't keep telling me about the Prime Minister as if he was Moses.
Do you not respect the Prime Minister?
Do I respect the Prime Minister? I despise the Prime Minister. And guess what? Guess what? Millions and millions and millions of people in this country despise the Prime Minister. I don't respect the Prime Minister at all.
This AI...
Holy moly, here we go again. And the weasel will jump again with an idiocracy. Here we go.
What are you planning to do next week when you arrive in Parliament?
Well, I'm meeting the Speaker on Monday morning, and then I'll be introduced and sworn in. I'll be escorted by the Right Honourable David Davis MP, former Deputy Leader of the Conservative Party. I don't know why he would do that if he thought I was the kind of man you're clearly implying that I am. David Davis is one of the great parliamentarians of today and this age. And I'll be taking my seat in the House of Commons and speaking for the people of Rochdale. That's what I was elected to do.
Excellent. Excellent. You have, it's not over. You have the truth on your side. You are on the right side. Don't be afraid to express it. George Galloway is not afraid. He smacks this idiot at each and every corner. Why? Because the truth and the right are on Galloway's side. But because they try to put you down and call you names, put you in certain boxes, they try to intimidate you in not answering how you would answer. Like right now, I can't say here on YouTube, and I know that what I'm about to say in many videos, or at least I'm stopping short of saying, I'm trying to use all kind of euphemisms and give you hints, because these guys will ban me, will close me. Therefore, you have to pay attention. You can't tell the truth, even if it's the truth. They're going to give a certain interpretation of your truth. Your truth, the truth told by you.
And what is your message also to Keir Starmer?
My message to Keir Starmer is that the skids are under you in scores of Labour seats up and down the country, because you've lost the trust, you've lost the confidence of millions of your traditional loyal voters.
Now we have now had an election where two of the candidates have alleged intimidation. The Prime Minister referenced that intimidation in his address on the steps of...
to the Prime Minister as if that's supposed to impress me. The Prime Minister is the Prime Minister is a rather diminutive, diminished and degraded politician. He made a party political statement. I don't care about Rishi Sunak's attitude. What I care about is that the returning officer, a man of unimpeachable integrity, I'm sure you'll agree, declared it a free and fair election, and me as the winner, and Rishi Sunak as one of the crushed two big parties in the state.
So why are two candidates?
Keep repeating the same questions to me, because I have other people to talk to. So let's make this the last one, shall we?
We got a party to deal with.
Allegations of intimidation, allegations that your supporters intimidated other candidates.
What times you've said that? The returning officer declared it last night.
Look at his blinking, the idiot.
You were there as a free and fair election, and me as the winner.
And the Electoral Commission today have said that they're going to look and talk to the parties.
You have to just suck it up. I won the election.
George Galloway, thank you very much indeed.
Now, this guy who got slapped, he's going to have his last word. Look at his weasel face. And his last words will be garbage. His interpretation of the whole conversation. Hear him.
That was George Galloway with his supporters now shouting bye-bye. Live on Sky News with his first reaction to the address by the Prime Minister. You can see some of the reaction to the way that George Galloway has responded to the Prime Minister's speech, to that extraordinary Friday night address on the steps of Downing Street. And you can see some of the atmosphere that I think the people of Rochdale have experienced themselves during this by-election over the last few days.
Whistle politics from our establishment politicians.
And you can see the febrile atmosphere and the anger in this room about an hour before a rally, a victory party for George Galloway's election is due to start.
Anger.
And you can hear the raw emotion addressed at other politicians and at others that criticise them. I think you've got in this room a flavour of the politics right now in Rochdale that this constituency has been witnessing for the last few weeks.
This guy gets paid for that, my friends.
The Prime Minister has just said that the election is due to start. and you can hear the raw emotion addressed at other politicians and at others that criticise them. I think you've got in this room a flavour of the politics right now in Rochdale that this constituency has been witnessing for the last few weeks. This will, I think this, and you can see the way and that, I think.
There you have, my friends. There it is. That is the media in the Great Britain. Are you surprised? Do you think BBC is different? I watched many interviews, especially with a hard talker, and it's the same garbage. I want to look and verify a little bit who this guy is, because I don't know. Sam Coates, Sky Deputy Political Editor Sam Coates. Let me find out who Samuel Coates is. I have a Sam. Are you amazed of how fast I typed? Coates, what? Sky News? Sky News. Without glasses, that's an achievement. Oh, Wikipedia. All right, journalist. All right, let's see who this guy is. University of Cambridge. So he's smart, my friends. He is smart. Let me show you. He's smart. He has to jump through a lot of hoops to keep his job and do a lot of mental gymnastics. He's British journalist. All right. University of Cambridge. Excellent. Right there. Public collegiate. Boom. The Times career. All right, man. He's good. He's good. You gotta be smart. Well, I can't find what I'm looking for, but I guess you know what I'm looking for here, and I don't find it. Well, maybe Samuel. Oh, he's Sam. Okay, Sam. So, my friends, he was not interested in talking to Galloway. He was interested in somehow catching Galloway say something, and he got him. He said that he doesn't care, he doesn't respect Sunak. That was the, let me show you the, right there, I despise, right there. Come on. You don't want to do it? You're going to do it for me. Right there, at the bottom. Bum. Right there. This is the title. George Galloway, I despise the Prime Minister. This is what he's got out of all this, out of all that. Well, I'm not against whatsoever asking tough questions, but those were questions, you know, you support that, this is the atmosphere, these are your people, you threatened, do Israel, do Hamas, do whatever it was, Hezbollah and stuff. All right. I always like to watch George Galloway when he gets with this beautiful, I don't know, reporters. These are not reporters. These are activists. These are activists, and they're smart. But Galloway is smarter and with balls and with heart. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.